This is the Lolise. Open up. She's probably 16. Actually, she does not look like she's 16. But, I mean, she's also a wolf, partially. And wolf's age spans are really low. So maybe she's actually like 15. And, I don't know. Yo, what's up guys, I'm Grandmaster Shaymin and welcome back to another episode of Wolf Tales, episode 2. In the last episode, we got the beginning of the visual novel all set out. We returned home, we found this poor fox girl, this poor wolf girl, unconscious, sitting on the floor of our house. We had to help her any way that we could. She was asleep for 12 hours, and we kind of nursed her back to health. And so, if you guys did miss it, I highly recommend going back and checking that out. If you guys would not mind, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. All of those things are very, very helpful to this channel as we are on the road to 200 subs. Thank you guys so much for getting us past that brutal 100 mark. And without further ado, we're going to get right on into it. After emptying 2 packets of instant noodles, one into each bowl, I pour in the boiling water. Then I place a fork in each bowl and bring them back to the living room, careful not to let the water spill over the sides. Alright, here you go. Make sure to give it a few minutes to cook before you eat it. So, we have 6 months worth of instant noodles, is what you're telling me. That's the answer to my question from the last episode. As I set a bowl down on the table in front of the girl, she stares at it quizzically. Eat this? What is this? Is it some kind of soup? Kind of. They're instant noodles. All you need to do is put the noodles in a bowl, add hot water, then wait for a couple minutes. They're quick, easy, warm, and quite tasty. I begin to stir my noodles around with a fork as I speak. Watching me carefully, the girl hesitantly picks up her fork, stares at it for a moment, then mimics my action. Yeah, that's good, just like that. You've got to stir them up a little so that the flavoring is distributed evenly. The flavoring? It adds additional flavor to the otherwise bland noodles. Have you ever eaten instant food before? The girl shakes her head. I'm familiar with many aspects of human culture, including some of which our respective races do not share. Even so, instant food is an extremely new concept to me. Is that right? I stare at the girl in partial surprise as she responds with an unexpected eloquence. Far from my mental image of half-humans being savages, this girl seems to be more human than wolf. She does seem more human than wolf. But, I mean, oh god, man. Hopefully she doesn't have 2 sets of ears. I haven't seen 2 sets of ears yet. Just hoping that we don't, because it doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness, I just realized something. I've been preying on your kindness, yet I haven't given my name or asked for yours. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. It doesn't matter, though. It's not like you'll be staying. I'm Mirari. My pack resides on the other side of the mountain. I was away from the pack when the snowstorm hit, and I wound up being unable to return to them. Thank you again for taking care of me. Speaking almost too quickly for me to understand her, Mirari introduces herself in a panic. She takes a few quick breaths immediately afterwards, then finally begins to calm down once again. Pleased to meet you, Mirari. I'm Abby. I've been living in this cabin by myself for... Abby-chan! Yes? Abby-chan, 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 Abby-chan! Okay, that ought to do it. Do what exactly? Oh, my apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt. Human names all sound so strange to me. If I don't repeat them out loud, they're too difficult to remember. Oh, I see. Anyway, Mirari. Yes, Abby-chan? I think it's ready now. I glanced down at our food. The noodles have begun to expand after absorbing some of the water, and the steam rising from the bowls has lessened considerably. If we're going to eat our fill, now is the time. Oh yes, of course. Mirai picks up her fork and takes another look at the bowl. She raises her fork out of the bowl and licks the water off of it, as though she was trying to eat the soup with a fork. After watching Mirari do this a couple of times, I interrupt her. You can drink the water last, after you've eaten all the noodles. Just watch me and do what I do. Under Mirari's watchful gaze, I pick up my fork. After pushing it into a clump of noodles and turning the fork a few times, I raise my fork to my mouth. I take a big mouthful and happily begin to chew the warm, filling noodles. I see that the food is submerged and the water is too hot to touch, so you use a tool to bring the food to your mouth. Pretty much. Now, why don't you give it a try? Me? Of course, that's why you were watching me, remember? Don't worry, it's dead simple. Dead simple? Do people use dead simple? Yo, that's so dead simple, bruh. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anyone use dead simple. Just get some noodles on the end of the fork and bring it to your mouth. Oh, okay. I'll give it a try. Mirari nervously picks up her fork once more. Mimicking my actions to the best of her ability, Mirari clumsily scoops up a large number of noodles. She then raises her utensil, which at this point most of the noodles slip off of her fork and fall back into the bowl beneath. Luckily for Mirari, however, a couple of noodles manage to hang on to the utensil, and after quickly examining the foreign food one more time, Mirari hesitantly places them in her mouth. Is it good? This is delicious. It's absolutely amazing. How can something this tasty be cooked in such a short period of time? What is this? Oh man, I can't. Wait, you can't save? Wait. Ah. Okay, I can. You're just hungry. You're exaggerating. I like instant noodles as much as the next person, but at this point, I'm pretty sure you're hungry enough that even stale bread would taste good. Anything tastes good when you're hungry, you know. The moment I finish speaking, a faint grumbling emanates from Mirari's stomach. Her face is tingled red as she looks down, silently regretting that unfortunate timing of her body's honesty. Despite her embarrassment, Mirari picks up her fork once more and continues to eat. See what I'm talking about? Anyway, it's perfectly natural to become ravenous out here. Your body burns a lot of calories warming itself up when you're out in the cold. After surviving that snowstorm and sleeping for so long, I'd be surprised if you weren't hungry. Just as Mirari is about to bring her fork up to her mouth once more, she suddenly stops. The snowstorm. I hope she's alright. She? No, it's nothing. I was just talking to myself, that's all. Clearly hoping to avoid questioning, Mirari quickly brings the fork to her mouth and takes another bite. The moment she does, her lips curl up at the sides, and a joyful smile appears on her face. After a few tries, Mirari has gotten the hang of eating with a fork. Fueled by her hunger, she devours most of the noodles in no time at all, leaving little more than water behind. If I'm not careful, she might finish her own portion first, and then start on mine. Aw, she's so cute. Once the two of us have finished eating, I grab our bowls and take them into the kitchen. Are you going to wash those? That's the plan, unless you'd like to give them both one more lick before I do. Don't remind me of my shameful behavior. Hunger truly does turn one into a different person. Oh, it's fine. I'm not exactly the kind of girl who eats off fancy 5-star restaurants, you know. Be that as it may, I'm not going to ask if I could lick the bowls. Rather than that, I was thinking that maybe, if you would like, I could clean them for you. You want to clean the dishes? She's so cute, vigorously. It's the least I can do after you treated me to such a scrumptious meal. Okay then. Look, I'm not going to turn down an offer to help, but do you even know how to clean dishes? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I know something that simple? Mirari tilts her head and gazes at me with an expression of apparent confusion on her face. So forks are new to you, but you know how to wash dishes. Fine, if you say you can do it, be my guest. Yes, I will. Thank you, Abby-chan. Mirari happily takes my place in front of the sink, which is currently filled with dishes. Displaying unexpected knowledge of human appliances, she carefully turns the handle next to the tap, causing water to flood the sink. She then twists it back the other way in order to stop the flow of water, and finally takes one of the bowls in hand. That's rather surprising. For someone who seemed so skittish from the moment she woke up, Mirari seems to be unexpectedly familiar with human inventions. Maybe half-wolves are more civilized than I thought. I'd always pictured them as wild beasts, who ran around naked and hunted with their claws and teeth. Despite that, Mirari has been closed since the moment she showed up here, and she hasn't done anything particularly strange or unruly. If anything, she's like a normal human being who's lived on the brink of society for just a little bit too long. As I compare Mirari to an ordinary human being, my mind flashes back to the moment I found her, cold, pale, and shivering, dressed in human clothing, seeking shelter in a cabin. Apart from her ears and tail, everything about her screams human. While thinking back to our initial encounter, one more thought crossed my mind. Having found her dressed in wet, disheveled clothes, I made sure to remove Mirai's clothes, then wash and dry them before dressing her once more. At that time, even though it was not my intention, I did get a good look at her naked body. Yep, just like a human, alright. Good to know for all of those who were wondering out there, which I know some of you were probably wondering. I didn't even think about it, but okay. Double ellipses. What am I thinking about? Have I really been isolated out here so long that I'm having indecent thoughts about another girl? Bad Abby-chan, get your mind out of the gutter. That's right, Abby-chan! How dare you! God. At least get it on the roof first. Then it can slide down the gutter. Just as I pull myself back to reality, Mirari suddenly turns around to face me. Okay, all done. The dishes. I finished cleaning them. I unconsciously turned my head towards the sink. To my surprise, the sink, which was filled with plates and utensils I've been meaning to clean for days now, is empty. All of the items which needed washing have been cleaned and placed on the rack to dry. You cleaned everything? Of course. I couldn't just clean 1 or 2 bowls and call it a day's work. Well, I wouldn't have blamed you if you had. Really, you didn't need to do all of this. Don't be silly. I did this because I wanted to, not because I had to. Besides, if I'm going to be staying here, I need to make sure I can earn my keep. Did you see that sleight of hand? Dude, the freaking diplomacy is at a freaking... She rolled a 20. We're like, okay. So I'm going to be staying here for a few days. Alright. As long as you're fine with it, I guess. Shuffling off with a bright smile on her face, Mirari quickly disappears into the next room. The moment she does, her words dawn on me, and a look of confusion creeps onto my face. Wait, staying here? Earn my keep? Mirari was just talking about the night she already stayed, right? Or is she actually assuming that I'd let her stay another? I look out the window as I contemplate kicking Mirari out. No matter how nice Mirari is, it's against the rules for humans to associate with half-humans in any way. What rules? Hold up. I got this. Duh rules. Alright. What are the rules? Alright, let's see. Existence of fairies. You see, there's nothing against the rules here. I don't quite understand what they're talking about, the rules. Even though the snowstorm has died down, it may not be over yet. And even if it is over, the snow underfoot is likely to have been dislodged and moved around by the storm, making it dangerous to walk on. And if one adds in the blistering cold, not to mention Mirai's near-death experience, it's clear that sending her out might not be the best idea. I can't kick her out, not yet at least. No matter how much I prefer to be alone, I'd be eaten away by guilt if I sent that nice young girl to her death. Besides, it's not like I can accommodate for one more person for a night or two, and I am curious. It's not like I can't accommodate for one more person for a night or two, and I am curious about how half-humans like Mirari live. For now, let's call this a sleepover, and then in a couple days when Mirari is feeling better, we'll go our separate ways. That's how it starts. Okay, I've finished dusting, tidying up the storeroom, and washing your clothes. Please tell me what you'd like me to do next. I stare at Mirari in a blank amazement as she announces her productivity with vigor. A short while ago, when Mirari asked if there was anything else she could do to help out, I half-heartedly listed several chores which I had been putting off doing myself. To my surprise, Mirari seems to have completed all of the tasks I offered to her, far more quickly than I would have. You're done already? Yep, I even managed to get the bloodstains out of your yellow blouse. Seriously? I've been trying to get that out for months. God, man. It was 4 people, and there was so much blood. I mean, on the bright side, I made a lot of money. I mean, it just was from hunting, right? How are you so good at this, Minati? Wait. I was just having a laugh, but like, does nobody, like, neither of these two are like blood on your clothes? Okay, whatever. Oh, we're probably a mass murderer. Maybe that's why we're living out on our own right now. So we're actually a killer. We're trying to stay incognito. I don't think I've ever known a human being half as prompt and hardworking as you are. You're praising me too much. I'm really not anything special. Don't sell yourself short, Mirari. Not many people could walk straight into the home of another race and outdo them like this. That's only because I'm used to this kind of work. It's really nothing new to me. I raise an eyebrow at Mirari's odd response. You've done this stuff before? I guess cleaning clothes is a given since you've been wearing them from the moment I found you, but just how similar is half-wolf culture to that of humans? Are your homes just like ours? Do you have the same chores that we do? That's a bit... I mean, some of us live in houses, though most of us don't. So you're one of the few that do? That's lucky. Yes, well, that's because This is the Lolise. Open up. She's probably 16. Actually, she does not look like she's 16. But, I mean, she's also a wolf, partially. And wolf age spans are really low. So maybe she's actually like 15. And, I don't know. Hime-sama! Minari freezes as she hears someone shout, seemingly frightened by the voice of the one calling out. Rather than pay her reaction any mind, however, I turn towards the door in irritation. Oh, come on. I chose this place because it's supposed to be away from civilization. How have I gotten 2 visitors in as many days? When I get my hands on the agent who sold me this place, I'm going to kill... Hime-sama! Holy fucking crap! Your nipples are hard. What? I mean, I guess it's cold outside. Why are you wearing no... It's snowing! How? What? Like, okay, so she was freezing and dying. So that means that her bare skin is not enough. So why is her bare skin enough? I'm confused. The moment I opened the door, my body was thrown to the floor. I barreled over in a heartbeat before I could even lay eyes on the interloper. What the heck are you doing, you little... wolf girl? My eyes widen in amazement as I spot yet another girl with furry ears and a tail. I slowly rise to my feet, taking my eyes off of her for only a second, as I close and lock the door once more. Minari, is this a girl, a friend of... Hime-sama! Eep! Minari cowers behind the couch as the new girl shouts at her. Maybe they aren't friends after all. Wait a minute. Hime-sama. Curious about the girl's relationship, I decide to butt out for a minute and allow them to converse. Why did you follow me here? I should have made my intentions perfectly clear. Don't ask stupid questions. You are Hime-sama. Of course, someone is going to come looking for you. But it was a blizzard out there. You could have been killed. The same goes for you, Hime-sama. How could I not be worried when you suddenly went out in the middle of that storm? I didn't ask you to worry about me. I can take care of myself, you know. Oh yeah, I could totally see that by the fact you're seeking refuge with a human. How unsightly, our Hime-sama boarding with some low-life human. Abby-chan is not a lowlife. She took me in when I was cold and hungry, and she gave me food and shelter, and none of that would have been necessary if you just stayed with the pack. Whatever this lady's done for you, the fact of the matter is that this situation is a result of your own selfishness. I can't just suddenly declare that you've been leaving, Princess. It doesn't work like that. I know that. I know I shouldn't have left without giving notice like that, but nothing. You're safe now, and that's all that matters. Now come, let us return and tell your mother the good news. She must be worried sick about you. Hime-sama, I don't want to go. Nani? Omae wa mou shinderu. What do you mean you don't want to go back to the pack? This is our pack we're talking about. You must return. I'm not going. The hell you aren't. The aggressive half-wolf grabs Mirari by the wrist and forcibly drags her towards the door. Mirari tries to resist, but it's clear that the new girl is much stronger than she is. Before this forceful girl can reach the door, we're gonna hit that save button. We're gonna stop it by force. Abby-chan, chop! I chopped the naughty wolf in the forehead. You insolent human! What did you do that for? Do you know who I am? I'm a proud soldier of... Not budging an inch, I glare at the young girl with as dangerous a look as I can muster. A proud soldier of... I sharpen my gaze, cross my arms, and show the girl I'm in business. A proud member of the kidnapping a young girl from another person's house. Is that what it is? Bitch. I'm watching you. Look at those eyes. I see you. You're just putting on an act, ain't ya? In response to my silent intimidation, the girl begins to cower. Her forcefulness may have been has been effective against a kind-hearted girl like Mirari, but it isn't gonna work on me. Honestly, you have quite the nerve, you know that. You bang on my door, barge in here uninvited, and now you're trying to force this girl to go with you out into the cold. But she's our princess. I don't give a shit. Ooh. Listen to me. Just last night, Mirai was both freezing and starving. She could have died, given the state she was in. I'm not about to let you drag her out into the cold to her death. Do you understand? Sulking, the girl nods. Faced with the very real prospect of Mirari's death, she can't bring herself to refute my words. Abby-chan, does this mean you'll let me stay a while longer? That's right. Just until you're healthy enough to be up and about on your own. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you so much, Abby-chan. You have no idea how much this means to me. She's just letting you stay in this dumb shack of hers. It's nothing worth getting thankful over. Now, don't be like that, Fuyu. Oh, I know. Why don't I make lunch for the three of us? Lunch? Three of us? I raise my eyebrow at Mirari's proposition. Fuyu, on the other hand, begins to wag her tail with her ears clearly perked up. That's right! Won't it be wonderful to eat hot food together in this warm, cozy cabin? Well, when you put it that way, I guess it doesn't sound that bad. She's totally a tsundere. She's actually, like, really putting on this act of her being, like, really tough, but she's actually not. Sorry, I'm being weird. I just got a text. Don't just decide these things on your own. I never said that rude girl could stay. Upon hearing my complaint, Mirari's ears begin to droop. She looks at me with her big, watery eyes as though silently pleading for her friend to join us. I mean it! No uninvited guests! Besides, we just ate breakfast. It'd be too soon to... Fuyu stands behind Mirai and pulls the exact same maneuver. Like a pair of puppies, they look up at me pleading, appealing to my conscience and humanity. Stop being cute! Fine! Do as you please. I can't do anything. I can't. To be fair, I would have been like, fine, you win. You're adorable. I get it. Yahoo! Woohoo! The moment I give my consent, Mirari and Fuyu both start to jump up and down. Tails wagging, teeth showing, they both appear to be thrilled by the notion of sharing a hot meal together. This calls for a celebration! I'll make something extra special with plenty to go around for all three of us. No, don't do that. Like I said, we only ate breakfast, so I'm not really that hungry. Something special? Like what? Did this girl bring a bunch of amazing food from human civilization? She sure did! I've only tried one dish so far, but I'm sure there are others that are just as delicious. Hey, are you two even listening to me? No celebrating and no serving for me. You got that? Oh, I can't wait! I'm getting hungry just thinking about eating the princess's delicious cooking. I'm glad to hear it. I'll get started right away. Let me head to the storeroom and find something to cook with. Ignoring me until the very end, the two girls run off towards the storeroom, enthralled by the promise of delicious food. Forget it. They'll be gone soon enough anyway. For now, let's see if Mirari is good at cooking as she is at cleaning. So good. Hime-sama, you have outdone yourself. I watch on with both caution and amazement as Fuyu eats her fill. Given a bowl full of canned peas and other kept foods, all either steamed or stewed to perfection by Mirari, Fuyu hasn't put her bowl down once. I want to tell her to use cutlery, but at this point, I'm afraid to interrupt. From the beginning, Fuyu has been either lowering her face to the bowl or lifting the bowl to her face. The fact that Mirari brought out spoons has apparently failed to register. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. The girl was subjected to the same terrain and conditions as Mirari. It makes sense that she'd be famished. Maybe I should offer her my bowl as well. The moment I placed my hand on my bowl... Abby-chan, you're gonna eat as well? No, I was just... It's okay. They're all foods from your storeroom, so this should definitely suit a human palate. That's not what's holding me back. It's really good, I promise. I'm actually quite pleased with how this meal turned out, and I would love for you to try it and give me your feedback. I don't know. Look, I'll make it easy for you. You don't have to raise your hand. Just say, Minari uses her spoon, the one she's been eating with until now, to scoop some of the food from my bowl. It's fine, really. Like I said before, I'm not hungry. No, I just said, sighing internally, I finally give in. The moment I do, Mirari happily places her spoon in my mouth, at which point I close my lips and trap the spoon's contents. I chew the soft, warm mush, which doesn't really need to be chewed at all, and then swallow. How was it? Did you like it? With her tail wagging and ears perked up with anticipation, Mirari carefully observes my expression. Wait. Oh my god, she's so cute! It's good. It's definitely much better than anything I know how to make. Really? You don't say! It's kind of vexing to think that someone I'd initially thought of as a savage can cook human cuisine better than I can. Oh well. When you live in a place like this, it's the nutrition and the warmth that matter, not the taste. Ignorant human! Did you actually doubt the princess's skills? Cooking is just one of the many skills expected to be drilled into the future mate of our next pack leader. Minari turns away as Fuyu casually reveals her situation. Whoa, hold on a second. Minari, you were taught to cook so that you can please your future mate? That's right, it's Minari's responsibility to... Minari hurriedly covers Fuyu's mouth before she can say anything else. What manner of nonsense are you spouting, Fuyu? I can cook because I enjoy watching others with my cooking, that's all. If I planned on mating with an alpha male, I wouldn't have ran away in the first place. Minai's words intrigue me, but I decide not to pry. Whatever has happened to these two girls until this point is none of my business. And if Mariah would rather run away from home than find a mate, that is completely up to her. I'm just the kind of stranger who took pity on a near-death young girl. What she does with the life I saved is not for me to decide. Fair enough. Oh, they're so cute. Look at their little faces. And their cute little fox, their wolf ears. I want wolf ears. Can I have wolf ears? I want a tail too. That would be so cute, would it not? Even though I'm not like, I'm not a cute girl or anything, but it would be so adorable. Wants them. Seriously? Don't you think you should at least wait for the food to settle first? So full. Abby-chan, you should eat more too. I already ate plenty, thanks. Although it was nothing compared to what the two of you ate. Shortly after the three of us finished eating, Madai and Fuyu both let out big yawns, then curl up next to one another on the couch. Sharing their body warmth, as I imagine they often would do out in the snow, the two girls snuggle up close to one another with looks of contentment on their faces. Sheesh, I want to tell them off for going to sleep right after eating, but when I look at them both like this, without realizing it, I begin to smile. Just yesterday, I found Mirari on the floor, cold, shivering, and she narrowly avoided death. Then today, Fuyu suddenly barged into my cabin. She's been running her mouth all day, and we haven't enjoyed a single moment of silence since she arrived. But for now, if only temporary, the two girls seem at peace. Sleeping soundly, comforted by the presence of their partner, the two wolf girls look like a pair of young pups clinging to one another in an unfamiliar environment. Previously afraid of for the other's safety, they have now found one another once more and can finally be at ease. I suppose I can let Fuyu stay for tonight as well. I feel bad if trying to separate the two of them now. Besides, I've been alone out here for a long time now. A day or two in the company of these girls shouldn't kill me. Yo, my room is intense. I'm curious on what that big brown bottle over on the left side is. Is that like oil or what is that? We got cleaning supplies, we got a rag shad bed, we got a jar. I enter my bedroom for a moment and open the closet. A few seconds later, I return with a blanket in my arms, which I then use to cover the girls. Even if you leave this cabin tomorrow, for tonight, you two are my guests, so sleep well. Resisting the urge to ruffle the girls' hair as they sleep, I return to the kitchen with our bowls and utensils to clean up. For now, I'll let the girls rest, and tomorrow, we'll see to what awaits us. And that's the end of the episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below for me, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing and leaving a comment. Once again, any comment is great. I will take anything that you guys want to dish out, and thank you guys once again so much for coming out here, and we'll see you all in the next episode.